Cool. Had to make sure we all set up. Want to make sure we're all good to go for today's show. Let me see. How y'all doing? How you beautiful people doing? I know the audio probably sounds a whole lot better compared to when me and Devin are on, and that's no fault of Devin at all. There's no fault of mine. We have a mixer. Well, not necessarily. It's pretty much a mixer on the computer that we use for both mics. So both mics just sound, it just needs some editing. Just a lot of editing that needs to get done. But when it's just one person, we just plug the microphone just straight to the computer, and so it's just pure audio there. So that just a small little explanation on that. I'm just posting on Twitter saying that we're live. Let me see. Let's use the rock. Let's use the rock as a GIF. That's what we're gonna do here. Look, Devin, obviously busy man, the busy man that he is at work, of course. And I'm not. That's no. Look, Devin is one of the hardest working individuals. I was going to take this minute to fry him. I was going to take time out of my day to just pretty much let loose on Devin. Pretty much just be like, oh, of course he isn't here. This Devin Crimes. This is Devin Crimes. He comes in when he wants to come in. But nah, that's 100% not true. If Devin could come in 24/7, hell, if we could live in the studio, we definitely could. I had multiple jobs. I quit one of them because Jesus Christ, I was getting in. And it was one of those part-time jobs. It was 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. and I was just getting worn down. I would come home, go to sleep, wake up, do whatever I needed to be done for the day, and then work again later on that night. Whether that was calling a basketball game, whether that was just so much producing as well on the side of that. The job that I actually care about. If I'm gonna be honest with you, just the ripping and running back and forth was just killing me, and I got other jobs lined up as well. I didn't mean to get all personal there, but I just wanted to get some information out there, just because it's me and Devin are just always in and out from the hill turn, and we care so much about this. We care so much. It's one thing just telling you guys we care. It's another thing just showing you. So this is our wrestling diary in a way. The only difference is it's open to the public and everybody can see it. It's open to anybody and everybody at this point. So love talking to Justin, love talking to Circle of Debate every time they go live. You want to talk about some hard workers, they have jobs. They have hell, some of them have families. Some of them have kids that they take care of, and yet they are coming on and they are always available for wrestling content. And that's what I want to strive to do. That's where I'm striving at. Circle of Debate is like just they light a fire, under at least under me. I can't really necessarily speak for Devin, because I want Devin to be like, well, they do light a fire under me, but Devin might have his whole different take on it. But I honestly feel as though Circle of Debate is what me and Devin strive, to get at. Granted, they're a family. We feel as though, we don't even need to have a logo or a face there. We feel as though we are, a part of them just by just interacting and texting. That's the community that they've built, Circle of Debate. And so that's just something I really, really strive to get to. It's their grind, their hustle, their tenacity, and all in all, their charisma. Those are some charismatic individuals, and I love to talk to them. So let's get into some wrestling. Look, I was going to talk about a heel turn schedule. I'm going to work on that. I just had to get into this. I just had to get into the building. Not the building, excuse me. I just had to get into this room right here because, like I said, it just was a whole lot going on, and I wasn't able to put the time that I really so truly needed into this. So now it's gonna be all guns blazing. Devin usually comes here over the weekends, so it will become a thing where Devin is gonna stop by over the weekends. But I'm trying to think what to do for Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday, I'll be unavailable, but Monday and Wednesday, definitely see if I can work something out, see if we can get something going there. But we haven't talked about wrestling in a minute. The last time me and Devin were on, we had so much to get into, but we wanted to talk about our AEW event so badly. We wanted to get into it so bad because Tony Khan, he was bogus. He was bogus for a lot of what he did, and we had to get it off our chest because we were already a week out we're talking about it. We're already a week late. And speaking of a week late, man, we gotta talk about the New Day, man. Let's get to the New Day. Let's talk about the New Day, because I wanted to talk about the New Day with Devin. Oh man, I remember vividly when my dog is howling downstairs. I was just like, what's going on down there? Give me 1 second. Hopefully you didn't hear that. And if you did, look, it's my dog. Her name's Tootie. She just perfectly fine. But the New Day. Let me tell you guys something about the New Day. I remember vividly buying my first box of Bootios. I remember at FYE, 4-Year Entertainment. Shout out to River Oaks. For those that live near in the Illinois, Indiana area, River Oaks, we don't go there no more. But man, FYE, they stocked up on Bootios. They had the socks, the shirts, of course, the cereal. Devin said he loved the cereal. Man, look, let me tell y'all something about this cereal. This cereal, I put Bootios up there with Krispy Kreme donuts, like in terms of just the amount of sugar that they had in these two things. Because Jesus, it's like you took one bite, take a spoonful of the cereal, your heart is just beating out of his chest. You get a little the hips going. You get the gyrating a little bit. You feel weird. You feel a little bit weird. So honestly, when you're seeing that, when you're eating that cereal, when you're watching the work that they put in, heels, then baby faces back and forth, the amazing rivalry they had with the Usos when the Usos turned heels, like everything that they did, don't get all rated R like your boy Xavier Woods. I didn't mean to bring that up, but that's what I loved, about the New Day. Even though we were in this Vince McMahon era of just goofiness, golden eggs, and just a whole bunch of tomfoolishness, I wasn't really a fan of the unicorn stuff. But man, when Francesca came out, the trumpet, oh man, it was smooth sailing after that. I love the New Day, and I love everything about the New Day until now. Because at first I was confused. I mainly just wanted Xavier Woods to get the push that he deserved. The push that Xavier Woods deserved. That's all. I was hoping Xavier Woods was going to come out of this looking a whole lot better than what he usually does, if we're being honest here. Because Xavier Woods, he's a really, really good performer. A great promo. I think he's a really good promo. I think he's a really good performer in the ring. I don't see a whole lot of flaws, in Xavier Woods' game at all. Kofi Kingston, we already seen what Kofi Kingston's done. Hell, you heard it from Big E. You heard it from Xavier Woods as well. Like Kofi Rhodes. Wow, Kofi Rhodes. Hey, we already know Cody Rhodes mix. We already know. We know that for a fact. But look, outside of that, Kofi Kingston, the fake Jamaican, he's the one that was contemplating retirement. We didn't know if we were gonna see Kofi Kingston ever again. We would have never gotten Kofi Mania, I don't think, if it wasn't for the New Day. The New Day went on this meteoric rise. I was in college, a freshman in college, when Kofi Kingston won the title. I was also in college when the New Day held the tag team titles. They were the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. It's just amazing. It was just absolute gold. They're eating the Bootios. They're eating cereal. Oh, somebody knocks it out of Stephanie McMahon's hands. The cereal comes off all on Stephanie McMahon. She puts on this convoluted match that the New Day has to pretty much go and compete in the main event after already competing. And it was just incredible. Just the storyline around it was just absolutely unreal. And that's the reason why I love to give you guys background on all that. Not because I like to share my memory. I like to share the decent memory I got, even though it was like 10 years ago. I really think that this was so iconic, and with everything the New Day has done, which is why I wanted to go through and run through all the accolades. Big E, becoming WWE champion, him being the golden goose for WWE. Big E, should I say it? Man, look, I know Titus O'Neil. I don't think Titus O'Neil got injured, but I think Big E is looking in the mirror. I think that's exactly who he sees. Titus O'Neil, Big E O'Neil. That's exactly who we're going to call him. Big E O'Neil. because that's exactly what Big E is becoming. It sucks. It sucks. And I'm not saying that he doesn't want to be in the ring. I'm not saying that he doesn't care, about being an in-ring performer, because he does. He does. He absolutely does. But I think he's proven himself, above and beyond that. Not only is he an amazing in-ring performer, but he's an amazing person on side of that. So on top of that, with some college education. So of course, Big E is going to come through and provide some help on and off, in and outside the ring. It's just the fact that, man, yeah, I didn't think you was going to take the Titus O'Neil route, brother. I definitely thought Big E was going to be a manager, and a nice one at that, because he's a really great. And I think Big E is going to be one of those guys that will become, an on-screen figure at some point in time. It's just a matter of time. We just got to wait on it. Him and Titus O'Neil. I think at some point in time, Titus O'Neil might be a general manager of Raw. Might be the general manager of SmackDown. I might be holding my son one day. Then, Daddy, who's that bald head guy? I'd be like, look, sit down. Let me tell you something. This dude was running during the greatest Royal Rumble ever. During the greatest Royal Rumble ever. And let me tell you what happened to this man. We can go on all day about Titus O'Neil. I definitely think Titus O'Neil will definitely have a Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce type of route. And hell, it might even, be a Titus O'Neil, Big E, Raw, SmackDown, GM feud thing that we're going on here. Now I'm just, I'm booking myself. But I do think the New Day splitting up, I thought was going to be for the best, but I didn't think that they were going to just turn on Big E like that. Did Big E deserve it? Of course not. We all sat there and discussed. I just sat there with my hands over my ears at first, because I'm like, I just can't anymore. When Kofi Kingston put the nail in the coffin, that when I heard this, and this is halfway through their promo. When Kofi Kingston says, you broke your neck, so what? Edge broke his neck. Lita broke her neck. It's just like, bro. Well, I'm like, stop it. Stone Cold broke his neck. He's just going off of name after name after name. I'm like, Kofi, stop. You don't mean that. You don't mean that. And Big E, the emotion. He's like, bro, like what? No, y'all ain't gonna do this to me. Come on. Like, I ain't gonna let y'all do this. And then Kofi, of course, with the stiff arm of the century. Sick, just absolutely sick. And then on the flip side, they're getting the Dominic Mysterio treatment. And, the crowd is letting them get a word out. Xavier Woods kind of forced it a little bit. I feel like there was a couple of times Xavier Woods could have kept talking, but he just waited for the crowd to intertwine. I feel like the crowd would have let him talk if he would have kept going. There was just a point where Kofi Kingston is like, look, I'm trying to and then the boos will hit. It's like, bro, no, let's get your thought out. If they're gonna let you talk, we do at least want to hear where you're coming from, at some point. But honestly, I think Cody Rhodes said it best. I'm ashamed. Just absolutely ashamed. And then Xavier Woods, with the final quote, yeah, like that guy was such a good guy in high school. Like, it's like that guy was so cool in high school. First off, you went to high school with Cody Rhodes, that's unreal. To me, that's legendary. And then to get to where you guys are now is pretty cool. It's actually pretty great. But still, what a storyline. What a storyline. What a heel turn. I mean, hell, this. I wish. And I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, because, like I said, we're busy people. But man, if Devin would have made a video for that, I would have absolutely cried, and I could have too. But I'll throw you guys in on a little production secret. I got to give Devin the most love out of everybody. I mean, there's only two of us. But Devin, when you see us on TikTok, the heel turn videos, or just some of the heel turn videos in general, most of it Devin does. Most of it I can definitely tell you, Devin. If there's just transitions, then okay, then that's me. Like the intro, okay, yeah, that's cool. I could do that. But Devin is all social media. And I think the last thing I did was that Twitch video that you guys saw of me saying that we're going to go back on Twitch, until I started working that UPS job. Is somebody here? My dog's barking. It usually means there's somebody here, but the door is locked, so we all good. And we got cameras here too. So we definitely make sure that everybody's safe, cool, calm, and collected here. But even going into that, I really do believe the New Day are gonna have something great here. I fully believe the New Day are gonna have something great. And I can't wait. I can't wait. And I hope that at some point in time, now this is bogus. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I definitely believe that Kofi Kingston should take a step back. Like, if the New Day are gonna go on a tag team run, go on a tag team run. Go ahead. Like I would love to see the New Day go on a nice push. You have a nice push, one more at least. But I do believe at some point in time, Kofi Kingston should be like, you know what, Xavier, I will take a step back. You know, you are right. But I said you're gonna have the keys. Let's give you the keys. I do believe that Xavier was a much better talker than Kofi Rhodes. Kofi Rhodes, yeah, I did it again. A much better talker than Kofi Kingston is. So I do think that Xavier Woods can push this whole thing to the next level. I fully believe. Excuse me. One person I do want to talk about as we step aside from wrestling to talk about some real stuff. Man, really upset. Really upset with the Drew McIntyre speech that came out the other day. Drew McIntyre, not even the other day, just yesterday. Drew McIntyre just pretty much just came out on the Busted Open podcast, and he just let it be known, like, hey, I might just have to take a step back from this industry, and not take a step back from the industry, like just in terms of how he sees and how he views the wrestling industry. You know, he said in the past 17 years, he didn't have a solid time with his family. You know, his mom even passed away. He showed up for a little bit and came back and went straight to work. Like nothing happened. And he said it was so eye-opening to see that, you know, after Hell in a Cell, after he gets his head bust open, you know, he's seeing family. You know, he's getting to see family. And he said things such as different. You know, he's missed out on so much. They can tell he's missed out on so much. And while he's with his family, his WWE family, the people that are with him 24/7 more than his actual family, they're not reaching out to him. You know, they're not going out trying to reach out to Drew McIntyre. And so, yeah, I can understand him feeling some type of way. I completely understand Drew McIntyre coming out and saying, even going back to talk about the fans, even the fans coming through. We always have something to say. You know, we always see somebody with an amazing promo. That's promo of the year. You know, Jacob Fatu, as soon as he gets the microphone, when he stops saying, I love you so low, and he starts talking, you know, we're like, oh, finally, this might be promo of the year. You know, we see a whole lot of that. I don't think that's a problem at all. But Drew McIntyre is just telling us straight up, whether you're Mark Henry, whether you're Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bubba Ray, you know, whether you're Rico, I don't know where Rico came from, but, you know, it's just it doesn't matter who you are. At some point in time, you are going to get forgotten. You know, we're always going to remember Stone Cold. You know, that glass shattering is iconic. But are we always going to ask for Stone Cold? No, because the very next moment we were asking for somebody like a John Cena. You know, and I'm talking about in that term as time frame when the Stone Cold officially left, not when he broke his neck, but after that WrestleMania with him and The Rock. But, you know, we're looking for the next guy, next man up. And of course, that was John Cena. John Cena leaves. Who's next man up? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns left. Who's next man up? It's looking like Cody Rhodes for the time being. But Roman Reigns, look, he had a nice 3-year run. And although we are happy to see Roman Reigns back, we are happy to see Roman here and there. You know, we're not always clamoring for. Usually we are like that because Solo Sikoa is, you know, getting on our last nerves. But I'm going to pinpoint to where Drew McIntyre is saying, you know, we're not. I can't think of any time anybody was like, you know what? Can't wait till Drew McIntyre comes back. You know, like it's none of that. We knew Drew McIntyre was going to take time off. And I think as fans, we know that it's well-deserved, you know, and now I'm just speaking from my point of view, from my perspective, you know, because it sucks. I have this habit where I see athletes, and yes, wrestlers are athletes. The wrestling is a sport. I don't care what anybody says. We can fight over it. But like, it's one of those things where Drew McIntyre can wrestle. We can see him every Monday. And he will be gone for 3 months. We won't even think about that man. But at the end of the day, we know he's away. You know, he's taking time off. It's well-deserved. But we're focused on what's happening on the show here. Oh, this dude's amazing. This dude's gonna be next man up. We're looking at big things for this dude, but yet we're totally forgetting on the guys that are sitting on the sidelines. Hell, I can't even imagine. Hell, let's think about it from another point of view. We heard Drew McIntyre's side. He doesn't care about what the fans think, and that's fine. I have no problem with anything of what Drew McIntyre said because he said nothing but facts, actual factuals. Now, I could definitely see Bronson Reed saying the exact same thing. Bronson Reed, who just got injured during War Games and Survivor Series, his whole ankle just completely just messed up. Bronson Reed was on an amazing run. It's not just anybody that's going to come through and just take out Seth Rollins, the architect, the Monday Night Messiah, Seth freaking Rollins, not just anybody is going to come through and just get rid of Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed did that. WWE had faith in Bronson Reed. He gets injured again, and now, even though he didn't get the win over Seth Rollins, he took Seth Rollins out for a long period of time. And then he goes to the War Games with one of the biggest factions in WWE, one of the biggest factions in WWE, the Bloodline 2.0. You're thinking something huge is happening with this man. And this man is going to elevate to do something a whole lot more. Now he's sidelined for months. Are we going to forget about Bronson Reed? He didn't have nearly as big of an impact as Drew McIntyre. I want to hear Bronson Reed's response to everything, when it's all said and done. Because he's just, I can believe he's in his 30s, but he's not new to wrestling at all. He's been wrestling for some years. Jonah, he's been wrestling for some years. So I want to know his thoughts and reactions because I hearing Drew McIntyre, it breaks your heart, man. It breaks your heart, and knowing that you put your all into this, and even when as fans you feel as though you're respecting somebody, you feel like you're valuing somebody's livelihood and you're showing the appreciation, but in actuality, like, we're not going home with these guys. We only see them on Mondays and sometimes Fridays, Tuesdays if they're lucky, or if Triple H need them, Shawn Michaels need them. But we're not going home with these guys. I agree with everything Drew McIntyre said. Mark Henry, when there was a part of that when Drew McIntyre actually walked out the door, Mark Henry said, "There's a lot of that I agree with and a lot of that I disagree with." Shut up, Mark. It ain't about you. Shut up. Like, I understand where you're coming at, but honestly, I don't think Drew McIntyre was wrong at all. Now, Mark Henry, I guess you have something to say to that because you were a wrestler, but and I don't want to necessarily say this, so I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because it devalues Mark Henry, and I don't think that's fair. Because I could say, oh, well, Drew McIntyre's wrestled on the Indies. He's wrestled around the world. He traveled. Mark Henry, you were a power lifter. You were a bodybuilder. You were the world's strongest man. And then Vince McMahon gave you a phone call and polished you up. Drew McIntyre got fired, and still had to work his way. And now he's coming to the WWE. He's finally got his niche. He's finally figured it out, on how to be successful. And now, within a second, it can easily crumble down. And then you can go over to your family and you realize how much time you missed because of that. Hell, Maven has one of the best wrestling YouTube channels out there outside of the Heel Turns and Circle of Debate. And Get Yo. Like, don't forget about the Get Yo podcast. Look, I love Jess, and I want to work with him at some point in time too. Definitely got to get a hold of him. But look, man, there's so many people like Maven. Maven just put out on the forefront. Like, my mom was sick. WWE, I believe he said, gave him that time, to be with his mom. But man, you can miss out on so much chasing a dream. And I don't know. You gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? You gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Because Drew McIntyre, we see the picture in the videos of Drew McIntyre holding up the title. We seen Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar himself. We seen Drew McIntyre put on the best of fights with Sheamus. With as we mentioned with Brock Lesnar, we seen him fight Gunther. We seen him fight Roman Reigns. It just sucks. That's what I really want to ask. A lot of these wrestlers. me and Devin have yet to ask a wrestler. We have yet to interview a wrestler that has held championship gold in WWE. That's hopefully coming soon. But I would love to ask, you miss birthdays, you miss holidays, you're on the road 90% of the year. When you held up that title, was it worth it? Was it worth? Because when you hold up that title, more responsibilities coming your way. Yeah, the paychecks are a whole lot nicer too. But man, definitely not seeing time with your family no more. You got to go on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts and Michael Strahan and them. You got to go on the Saturday Night Live. You got to go on the late night show. You got to do, and I'm not saying this is an everyday thing, but there's a whole lot more responsibilities when you're champion. And you've seen it with Drew McIntyre. He even announced it in a promo. I forgot who he was talking to, but he talked about the sacrifices it takes to become champion. I really want to ask, is it worth it? What was it worth it when it was all said and done? Now, the one person I ain't gonna ask Rey Mysterio, bro, you was champion for a day. I'm sorry. You got disrespected. I ain't gonna ask you, was it worth it? If anything, I'm gonna just ask you, who should we fight for you? Who should we fight? I ain't fighting John Cena, but who we fighting for Rey Mysterio in his honor? Because that's BS. That they did him dirty. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. Really wanted to get that off my chest, because that was really something that was bothering me for a little bit. Just happened yesterday. I seen it yesterday, but something that really stuck out a whole lot. So outside of Drew McIntyre, I think the WWE has done absolutely amazing. It's been great work all around. NXT is on fire right now. Huge shout out to Julia. Roxanne Perez is going to be amazing. Stephanie McClure, it looks absolutely stunning. Like this, I forgot who said it. I want to say it was Justin. It was either Justin or Ivan. It's somebody. Somebody in Circle of Debate. Somebody in the Circle of Debate realm said that this was the most, like, this NXT roster is just absolutely stacked to the brim. And I fully believe that. Lola Vice, I believe, is going to have a great future. Jada Parker, I see Bianca Belair in Jada Parker. What I mean by that is when we saw Bianca Belair in NXT, like, we knew she could talk. We knew she was athletic. It was just a matter of, how far are you going to go with this? Because we know you have the potential to be something great. It's just a matter of how far are you going to take this? How dedicated are you to this? And you see how dedicated she is, right? Her and her husband. They've done some great work in WWE. And Bianca Belair, I think she's on pace. Look, it's short time, but look, WWE, the WWE and the NBA Hall of Fames are pretty much neck and neck in terms of, it's not that hard to get in. It's not that hard to get in with a little bit of backing, but by some fans, you can get in for sure. I definitely think Bianca Belair, if she doesn't slow down anytime soon, is definitely a surefire Hall of Famer, and she can continue this up. I mean, an amazing, almost 1 year women's championship reign. Like, she carried the women's division at a point in time where we didn't care. We didn't care. We didn't care at all. And then, of course, Bayley stepped in the mix and turned everything around. But I think Bianca Belair definitely has shown herself to be an amazing, talented star. I think Jada Parker is up there. Now, Jada Parker isn't up there doing backflips. I think she could be a little bit more technically sound on the wrestling side. But, man, she can talk her way through anything. She can talk about, how about I sleep you right now? How about I sleep you right now? When I heard that on NXT, how about I sleep you right now? I was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. This is amazing. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, Jada Parker is just, she's ghetto. She's fiery. I was gonna say violent, but I think that's the bad word. She's fiery. She engages, with the audience, whether that's negatively or positively. I love me some Jada Parker. Jada Parker is just, can I faint? Can I faint? Like, Jada Parker, she has it all. She has it all. There's nothing I could really push back on her with. None whatsoever at all. Lola Vice, I think, is great. So Ruka. Now, I'm not a huge fan of her promos. I do think she could talk. Not a huge fan of her promo. Not a huge fan as I am about Jada Parker. But, man, if you could put Jada Parker's mic skills with Soul Ruka's wrestling ability, that's a demon. Like, you have yourself a demon right there. But honestly, the talent on here is just absolutely stacked. And then let's go over here on the other side, the Nikita Lyons. The the we already talked about Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Shotzi, who just returned. I think that's gonna be the Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum trio. I think is actually pretty solid. I think that's a pretty solid trio to have there. One's a little crazy. The other one is fiery. I'm gonna put that to Gigi Dolan, and Shotzi is just a nut job. Shotzi's just a nutcase. And so I think that trio is gonna work perfectly well together. JC Jane, Fallon Henley, they need to find their way. They're finding their way. I'm not gonna pounce on them too hard. They have to find their way. They're gonna work it out. I'm not gonna stress on them too much. But this women's division, man, is just so unreal. Lash Legends, Lash Legends, Lash Legend, Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo. She's just so amazing. My wife. I don't call her my wife. Let me stop because there could be somebody watching this and I'm gonna get in trouble. Well, my cousin with no Alabama. There's nothing Alabama related happening here. Just my cousin. Just my cousin. You ever seen that? Big Meech. For those that don't know who Big Meech is, of course, huge time drug dealer. Went to jail. His son, of course, is an actor. And you seen when he got caught cheating with, I believe it was Summer Walker. But he didn't get caught cheating. He was just, he just walked into the room with a lady and got caught on a Ring camera. But he's like, hey, I was just helping my cousin with the groceries. And that is such the most that's a crap excuse. I'm sorry. I was just helping my cousin with the groceries. I could have thought of something totally better. No, I wouldn't have. I'm sorry. That would have been that. Honestly, that would have been his best bet. I just think that sucked. I was just helping my cousin with the groceries. Yeah, okay. Okay, then you just leave 2 hours later after helping your cousin with the groceries. All right, brother. Look, I was born, but I just wasn't born yesterday. Nah, I'm sorry. Here's the thing here. Let's move on before I get myself in even more trouble. Everybody is. I keep seeing this before I move forward. I keep seeing Sean Ross Sapp just constantly get flagged over something. Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp. And let me. I don't have a problem with Sean Ross Sapp. Let me tell y'all something. I have zero problem with Sean Ross Sapp. I do. Maybe he shouldn't be going off on his fans on Twitter. I do think that's a problem. Maybe he shouldn't, because people are just going to do that just to get that engagement. But Sean Ross Sapp, I'll go on Twitter and they'll be like, oh, he's tweeting people's bosses. He's emailing people's bosses. He's actually texting people's landlords and telling them to get evicted. And then I'm like, well, what kind of, bro, you're famous, like, quote unquote, you're famous. You got a name. Sean Ross Sapp, like, in terms of wrestling and wrestling news, you have a name. We know who you are. We go to you for news. Outside of Dave Meltzer, we go to you for wrestling news, especially now that Dave Meltzer is losing it. He's losing a little bit of steam here. We go to you, Sean Ross Sapp, for wrestling news. So when I see this man absolutely losing his mind on Twitter, he's reaching out to people's co-workers and to their bosses and telling them how much piece of crap they are. And I'm like, why is he doing this? Sean Ross Sapp literally just go on Twitter. Yep, I definitely did that. And y'all want to know why I did that? Because this dude sets baby orphanages on fire. He steals from homeless people and he slaps his own mother. And it's like, well, I do hate people that slap their own mother. It's just like Sean Ross, he usually has a point in all this, is what I'm trying to get at. And usually Cultaholic, I don't necessarily say they steal his reports, but the way they report their news is they reword what Sean Ross Sapp says and then just put the credit Sean Ross Sapp at the bottom. I do think that's BS. Sean Ross Sapp is like, why don't you guys just at me? Why don't you guys just, help me out here with a little bit of that? So I do love Sean Ross Sapp. I don't necessarily, he do be tweaking a little bit, but whoa. Shout out to Devin. Devin says, I was born, but I wasn't born yesterday. Shout out to Devin for sliding through, man. Really appreciate you. Shout out to Heel as well. Whoa, what's happening to Sapp? Long story short, man, Sean Ross Sapp, he's literally just coming out here and like, I promise you could go on Twitter. He's emailing people's bosses. He's emailing people, and now I don't know if it's the landlord, but he's literally going through these people's personal lives or a person's personal life, emailing them and telling their people how much pieces of crap there are. Pretty much is trying to expose them. And honestly, I don't necessarily got a problem with it, you know. And Sean Ross Sapp is like, bro, these dudes threatened my mom. Like, he's saying all this negative stuff about me. So I'm just gonna screenshot it and send it to your boss, you know, and tell them that you're a piece of crap. Oh well, you know, like I honestly don't have a problem with that. I just think that he takes it a little overboard when he just looks like he has a little bit crazy eyes from time to time. But Sean Ross Sapp is gonna be Sean Ross Sapp. Before we get into AEW, because I want to talk about Ray Phoenix, you know, I do want to talk about what's going on with just the Lucha Bros and what's happening with them. I want to get into Ricky Starks as well. I don't care about Effie. Look, look, GCW. I will watch GCW. I just don't care for Effie. No, I'm not homophobic. Look, we can fight. Look, but at the end of the day, Effie is just not somebody I really care to talk about. I do believe that he had a point in everything he said. Matter of fact, we might as well just talk about it. Before I get to that, Sean Ross Sapp, since we're on the Sean Ross Sapp news, came out and said Tessa Blanchard is going to be returning to TNA. And man, look, Jordan Grace. If you could put pen to paper, if you could walk up to Shawn Michaels or Triple H, Paul Levesque, you could put pen to paper right now, do it. Do it immediately. You see how they treating you? You see what they want you to do, Jordan? Man, the reason why I'm going this far is because for those that don't know Tessa Blanchard, she used to work at TNA like a while ago. She was TNA champion. Hell, I believe she won a men's champion. She held a men's main card title as well. If I could be wrong. Matter of fact, let me triple check that. I believe she won. Because look, Devin knows. I believe Devin's watching right now. I ain't the TNA guy. Definitely ain't the TNA guy. But Tessa Blanchard, she was just known for also causing a whole lot of problems behind the scenes as well. There was Chelsea Green, I believe. Tessa Blanchard, she came out and said, you know, she regrets what she did. You know, she apologized for a lot of what she's done in the past. And Chelsea Green, her tweet just insinuated that, hey, look, you know, we will accept your apology, but, you know, you got a long way to, go before we start forgiving. Before we start doing a lot of forgiving over here. Just looking at it right here, she signed to TNA Wrestling. She is a former Impact World Champion. Yes, Impact World Champion. Of course, Tully Blanchard's her father. For those that don't know, Tully Blanchard, of course, a legend in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling business. But Tessa Blanchard, she was known for being just impossible to work with behind the scenes, huge attitude problem. A lot of people accuse her of being racist. You know, it's a bunch of negative stuff. So it's a bunch of bad stuff they're putting on her name. And now she's back, and it seemed like everybody just ran away. Like everybody just ran as soon as she walked through the door because it was a surprise. Now, I could read this word for word Sean Ross Sapp tweet here to give us a little bit more context because I do think it's bogus. Devin also comes through. Devin says TNA is better than AEW at this point for me. Devin, you just a hater. Look, let's just call it spade a spade. You just a hater. You're just a hater and a low-key TNA lover. That's just what it is. I wish you were here so we could have this conversation. And the reason why I go into details because number one, I'm joking. I do think Devin has a huge point here because TNA is trending a lot. You know, we talk about TNA a lot. Even them going through it in their event with Bloodsport and the participants there, you know, Josh Alexander and those guys. But I do believe that TNA are going to go on a run that we haven't seen from them in a while. At least I thought that until this Tessa Blanchard stuff came up. And that's something that's definitely going to divide your, I want to say women's division. I won't necessarily say won't divide your company. I won't go that far. It's definitely going to divide your women's division. And that's TNA. Okay. There's no reason to shoot yourself in the foot like this. You just had a collab with NXT. Now, of course, Joe Hendry came through. That's cool. That's great and all. Jordan Grace, you know, your champion, you know, your go-to gal of all people for years, and made her way to NXT. You know, and of course, you're having some NXT players come over to TNA, Wesley, you know, those guys. But I don't understand why you would put yourself in a predicament like that to where you would hurt your women's division. You hurt your women's division, You cause a divide in your women's division. Don't you think they have an inkling, of where they will want to go when their contract is up? Or hell, if they even want to finish out their contract? Because the stories that we've heard from Tessa Blanchard, she's a real handful. She's a hot mess. Not the Chelsea Green hot mess, but she's just a hot mess in totality. Why would you want to divide your locker room like that? Because if I'm Jordan Grace, no, I am not fighting Tessa Blanchard. Well, I don't care if I'm squashing her in 3 seconds. I don't care if we putting on a competitive fight. I don't care if you want me to drop the belt to her because Jordan Grace's contract is expiring. You know she's going to go to NXT. Hell, she shouldn't even be in NXT in my eyes. I think she should just go up to the main roster. But, excuse me. But honestly, with Jordan Grace, I would be disrespected I would feel so disrespected in more ways than one. Because I felt like I've held this company down for the longest. When this lady was causing up a stir, when this lady was giving us all these problems, when this lady was being stiff with everybody and being just a complete asshole, like screw that. Like if that was the case, and I'm not trying to speak, like I said, I'm not trying to speak for Jordan Grace, but if I'm Jordan Grace, you can kiss the darkest part of my black ass. I'm out of here. Oh, well, if I'm Jordan Grace, I wouldn't say that. You can kiss the darkest part of my husband's black ass because I'm out of here. That's what I would say if I'm Jordan Grace at this point in time. I think she's still married to Gresham, but I could be wrong. Devin slides in. I'm gonna slide through tomorrow, most definitely, fam. Hey, look, I'm appreciate you. And hell, might as well just announce it now. Me and Devin gonna be watching Saturday night main event. I ain't gonna talk about it. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna talk about it. Just real quick. But me and Devin are gonna be watching Saturday Night Main Event. There was a lady on Twitter that came out and said, if there aren't any black people on this match card, we're not gonna watch it. We, lady? We? No, I'm sorry. You can keep up with your black. First off, that's fake black pride that we're seeing, that you're seeing there from some people. Like, that's fake black pride. I'm gonna just throw that out there now. I ain't trying to sneak this nobody, but it is not that deep. It's literally 4 matches. If there's not one black person, shut up, get out of here. I can understand, like, there was a point in time where it was like 6 or 7 months where Bobby Lashley, he was solid, he was looking like the hot thing out there. There was a point in time where, you looked at that match card, you weren't really expecting too much. But, and then that was all through the injury as well. Of course, Xavier Woods was in and out, Kofi Kingston in and out as well. MVP was also dealing with his fair share of injuries and was struggling to even get on TV because he was moving into that managerial role. I'm talking about just a couple years ago when we had this talk. When there was a reason to have this talk. Now, no, man, there's no reason to have this talk. I want to bring that up because not every black person is like that. Not every black person is like that. So and I know there's a lot of white people that do that too. Like, there's not a lot of white people that go around and are crazy. So it's just like this. I just want to point it out there. Shout out to Heel. Heel says racism in wrestling goes back a long time. I'm more concerned about the locker room bullying. Hope she has changed, and that's a fact. That is 100% fact. And hell, we just talked about the racism here. Like, racism in wrestling goes back a long time. Hell, Tony Atlas. The Booker touched my pecker. I forgot who the Booker was at the time. And the guy was like, you didn't snitch? You didn't, tell HR or nothing? And he's like, no, he's the Booker. What can I say? No, if I say, hey, man, this dude touched my nuts, I'm getting kicked out. I'm not wrestling no more. And that's just so messed up. And now that's more so into the Colin Kaepernick aspects of racism. If you've seen the Colin Kaepernick documentary where he's like, man, these football athletes, we're getting their measurements, we're getting their size, they're looking at their athleticism, and we're getting the feel of the body of the athlete, and it's just like, it's kind of resembling of like a slave auction, in those situations. Now things have gotten a whole lot better. Now I'm not in the locker rooms. I can't speak for anybody in that situation, but honestly, I do feel as though bringing somebody like a Tessa Blanchard in it does more harm than anything else. Oh crap! Now I gotta give me 1 second. Hello. 9:30, 10ish, unless we go into OT. I don't know if you guys heard that. Okay, nah, I don't know if you guys heard that. I was on the phone with my mama, just making sure everything was good with her. You look, always got to make sure mom's is good, man. Always got to make sure mom's is good. I just got double booked. You know, my mom has some stuff to do, and I got work, so I was trying to, which was pretty much trying to navigate from there. But dang. Where was I getting at? Hold on, let me go because I know Devin was talking. Look at that! Look at that! As soon as I say I know Devin was talking crazy. Shout out to Mr. Hill. He says Black Pride needs to relax. People on Twitter are asking for a Black Mr. Bing. Yeah, see, that's the problem I got. Now there was two things I didn't have a problem. There was one person that was talking about because it was one guy that does a fan art. He does fan animation for something, and I guess a girl changed his fan art to make the woman black. And he goes, "Hey, I'm not Disney Channel. Like, don't make my characters black. Not everything needs to be black." And it, like, he got genuinely offended. And on one hand, I'm like, "Okay, bro, this is your art. This is your livelihood. I understand people remixing it. Definitely, because it's anime art." You know, so and he's not American. He's from Japan actually. So I can understand him being really frustrated at especially being from Japan. He doesn't know what's going on in America. And so what America's doing out, what we're doing out here, it can definitely be seen as disrespectful on his part, especially for his work. But the way he talked about it definitely sounded like he has some little bit of hatred there. Some hatred in his heart there. It sounded like he wanted something. Sounded like he had something he really, really wanted to say. But yeah, Black Pride has become a huge problem. Like even in AEW, where in AEW there was like, "Whoa, Black people haven't been shown enough." And now, early on, okay, I was like, okay, I can agree to an extent. Now, when this was like a couple months ago when they were talking about Black, and even with Bobby Lashley, like, look, Bobby Lashley's a great wrestler. When it's all said and done, we could talk about his blackness and how great his blackness is. But right now, let's talk about how great of a wrestler he is. We're still gonna celebrate him in February. Like we have their time. There's no need to make everything all about race, and I think that's one of the biggest problems we have here. Like, no, you're not one of the greatest Black wrestlers to ever know. Let's put you up there with one of the greatest wrestlers. Let's do that. That we're all gonna be man, at some point in time. A huge shout out to Devin. Devin says that's probably what Jonathan Gresham told Tony Khan to do. That's fact. That's fact. Totally forgot about that. Jonathan Gresham went off on Tony. He was the first one to pretty much hold Tony Khan. If we're being honest, before CM Punk said that this is a clown show and I quit. Jonathan Gresham was the first one to be like, "Yo, Tony Khan a hoe, and I ain't working for AEW." Schoolyard. He was just set on not working for AEW. And hell, is that one of the reasons why Jordan Grace is on NXT? Well, nah, that's not one of it. Look, NXT, AEW, which one you want to go on right now? 2 years ago, I think you would have made your choice. Oh, AEW all the way. Now, I think I want to stay in WWE. I think I want to go to NXT. Sign me up to NXT, brother. Devin also said I'm getting chewed out on the phone. Man's getting chewed out over the phone. Look, somewhat. I somewhat was because with this job I'm on call. So hey, if I get a phone call, I'm gonna work. Like, I'm sorry. Like, whatever we doing that day, I'm sorry. Like, I gotta get the job done. I gotta work. So Devin, I'm actually gonna be in Thea Bowman. Thea Bowman taking on Morton. So I'm gonna be over there. I only say that because Devin's the only person on here that knows where that's at. So just have to give him a whole lot of love. I will be in Gary, Indiana. And if you want to see me, come see me, I guess. No, don't see me. But if you want to come see me, come see me. But let's get into Tony Khan. Tony Khan and AEW. So Tony Khan himself is making him look like such an ass. He just looks like such an ass, bro. Like, not even an ass, bro. Like, I think he's becoming worse than an ass. What's Pumbaa? What's Pumbaa from Timon and Pumbaa? What? Damn it. What animal is Pumbaa from Lion King? A warthog. Yeah, nah, that's not as cool as being an asshole. Well, Tony Khan, you're just a jerk. Let's just put it right there. You're just a jerk. Look, at the end of the day, from Ricky Starks, being upset that people are telling him, "Look, man, you should just be happy, just be grateful you got a job." And I felt that with a passion. Ricky Starks' anger, like, screw you. You know, like I should just be thankful that I got a job. That's BS, bro. No, not at all. You know, you're just saying, you know, hey, you're not on TV. You're not being used as properly as you would think. You know, you've been working for this your whole life, but just be happy that you're here. No, not at all. If my biggest goal in life is to work at Sports Center. If I work at Sports Center, my job here is done. Like, I'm happy, absolutely happy. If I'm working at Sports Center and they have me on the sidelines, I'm pretty much just writing stories and I'm not on air. If somebody told me, "Hey, bro, just be grateful you're at Sports Center," I would happily hit my man with a three-piece bicket. With a three-piece bicket, I'll happily. I don't even know what a bicket is, but he can hit with it. Look, I'll happily hit this man with a three-piece biscuit. Look, the combo fries. You want some fries with that, sir? You know, like, buddy getting smashed. I'm sorry. Like, and that's mainly because when you're looking at this whole thing, like, you're not where you want to be. You feel disrespected because you know you are good enough to be at a certain point in the game, and you're not. And it's not, at least in Ricky Starks' case, it's not his fault. I don't think it's Ricky Starks' fault at all, especially knowing that in WWE, you are wanted. If you don't think Ricky Starks is wanted in WWE, you're on bath salts. 100% on bath salts. I definitely think he is the go-to guy. Shout out to Devin. Devin says, he says, got you. Go get the bread. And he says also he's a warthog. Of course you would know that, Dev. Of course. Warthog. Hold on. Excuse me. But even then, Tony Khan is doing his talent dirty. Like, honestly, if I'm Tony Khan, think about it like this. If I'm Tony Khan, this is me being Tony Khan right now. If I'm going to make the booking decisions, I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure everybody is happy. If you're not happy, oh well, go somewhere. I have so many other talented wrestlers that are hoping to take your place. That's the Vince McMahon ideology. Vince McMahon, Sasha Banks, you unhappy? Get your ass out of here then. You want to walk out, Naomi? You want to walk? Get your ass out of here. CM Punk, you want to walk? Get your, like, CM Punk was on fire right then and there. He walked out. Vince McMahon, get your ass out of here. We'll fire on your birthday, homie. Goodbye. Tony Khan don't have that. You know, like, Vince McMahon was letting you, if they walked out, well, go ahead and walk out. We ain't gonna sue you. We ain't gonna take you to court. You'll probably be on the show for 3 months, but bro, you want to walk out, get your ass out of here. And then, you know, strangle somewhere else. Now, the only difference is at that point in time when Vince McMahon was doing that, there was no other alternative. So it was either TNA, Ring of Honor, or nothing. And shoot, only one of those spots were going to get you on TV. And hell, nobody was watching it. You know, nobody, and I'm talking about in terms of TNA, you know, nobody was watching it. So it's a messed up situation. At that point in time, there was nowhere to go in that Vince McMahon era. Now, like, if I'm Tony Khan, bro, Ricky Starks, Ray Phoenix, Penta, look, get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here. Gone. Rusev, I'm sorry. Miro, get the hell up out of here. You guys can happily leave. Go to WWE. Because I know as soon as whoever is frustrated over there in WWE, they're coming over here. I already got Bobby Lashley. I already got Ricochet. You know, I already got guys that are going to make this golden as is. Everybody's replaceable in this thing. Like, wrestling is not like the NFL. It's not like the NBA. Like, I love GMO. That was one of the segments I used to do on the show I used to do. I love GMO. I love to go through and look at my salary, look at the players I could get and I can't get. And there would always come a time where, look, we saw it on GMO on the WWE Universe. If you don't give me $100,000, I'm leaving. If you don't get your ass up out of here, man, come on now. Get your ass up out of here. $100,000. Get your ass up out of here, bro. $100,000. No. Ain't nobody go, and you got Penta like, oh, I'm so upset with how I've been treated here in AEW. You got people voicing their discretions about how upset, unsatisfied, and just hurt they are with their experience there in AEW. Get them the hell out of there, Tony. There's no point in holding somebody on their contract. I never understood that with With Vince McMahon, what he was doing with Roddy Rich, not Roddy Rich, with Roderick Strong, when all his friends went over to play in AEW, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong requested his release, and Vince McMahon was like, nope, no, go over there and dance with the Diamond Mine. You know, it's like, go over there and dance with the Diamond Mine, brother. You'll be perfectly fine. That's bogus. That's dirty. But that's a tactic that also is just plain in business. It's just business. Huge shout out to Heel. Heel says, yeah, Ricky Starks is not a regular person. He's a star. That's why Jason Tatum was frustrated not playing in the Olympics when he was better than the people starting. God damn it. Yes. Yes. You hit the nail right. I think Heel hit the nail right on the head with that one. I think that Ricky Starks and Jason Tatum, that comparison is so perfect. Jason Tatum, the only difference is Jason Tatum didn't complain. Jason Tatum sat there and he was like, hey, man, look, it is what it is. I'm just happy to be here. If you're content with that, then that's fine because you know what you can do. And Jason Tatum has already proved himself. Ricky Starks needs to prove himself. He still needs to prove himself. Like, I thought he was amazing. I thought he was a dope FCW champion. They didn't really do too much, but I thought he was a dope FCW champion. He's amazing. I forgot who he was talking to when he was just having a normal promo, and then he just randomly, I just can't take it. I just need to beat you guys. I just want to beat you guys. That's so bad. Like he's fiery. Like, and I know he's smacking Bailey. And I know he's smacking Bailey. Like, I just know it. Like, I can feel it in my soul. But that's besides the point. I think Ricky Starks will be amazing in AEW in NXT. I think he'll be much better than what all ego Ethan Page is doing, which I think Ethan Page is doing a great job. Ethan Page has zero aura in AEW. NXT, it's there. But you know, I like to see what he could do. I want to see him and Austin Theory together. That's my future duo, you know, in the future. Austin Theory and all ego Ethan Page. I think that is an awesome tag team to have. Grayson Waller can get the hell up out of here. He can go on somewhere. He can go back to NXT for all I care. But I think that is a perfect 1-2 punch. Shout out to Devin. Devin says that promo was when Keith Lee and Swerve was teaming with Hobbs. When he was teaming up with Hobbs. And I remember that. Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, you know, whose house? And then of course them two coming out there, and then they had their LaMickey feud, because that was a mess. They dropped the ball with that. But we don't know what's going on with Keith Lee, so I don't want to bang on that too hard. But yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs. He's getting treated like dirt. Warlow treated like dirt. Tony Khan needs some help. And until he can come to the realization of that, we're gonna continue to crap on AEW. AEW is in such a sad state right now. I just wish we could come to a point to where I'm scratching my thigh. I just wish we could come to a point to where wrestlers, like I said, it's not NFL, it's not NBA, where a guy can, you know what, I want to get traded now. You're like, bro, I have to go through all of our finances. It's not like I can just be like, oh, well, okay, go to Charlotte right now. Here you go. No, we have to talk to these organizations. We have to make this trade work. We have to get the finances together to make this thing happen. Then we can work on trading you. AEW, WWE, man, you can request your release. If you don't want to show up to work, you don't have to. I'm done. I'm gone. No, goodbye. And all you're going to do is go stay at home for 3 months and then go to AEW. Stay at home for 3 months and then work indies. You know, you're never going to be out of a job, I don't necessarily think. Now, somebody could definitely correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a wrestler. So somebody could tell me how this works. But at the end of the day, how I see it, I never really think you're out of a job necessarily as a WWE, as an established, as an established wrestler. I don't think you're going to be out of a job for too long. Will Ospreay, if Will Ospreay doesn't like what's going on in AEW, he can happily leave on the spot, and he'll be in WWE in 3 months. I firmly believe that. Now, if you want to go through lawsuits and suing and this and the other, okay, then sure, why not? But it's not going to stop him from still showing up at any other promotion and working at some point in time. You know, Jim Cornette always says that if I don't want to do something, I'm going home. You know, I can always go home. Now, he takes it to the extreme, but you know, he makes it very well known. If there's something that he doesn't like, he is going to go home. And that's something I actually really, really appreciate and admire about the dude. Only thing I appreciate and admire about the dude. Don't really admire Jim Cornette. I just like his podcast. But Tony Khan is the softest man alive. No, I think that goes to Nick Nemeth. CM Punk was bullying me, and then when I snitched on him, you guys didn't do anything about it, man. Man, Nick Nemeth, if I don't, man, I'm sorry. That was the softest thing I ain't never heard. When he came through and said that, and he's just coming through and just, I snitched on CM Punk, and you guys didn't do nothing about it. And yeah, I just can't believe the company I'm at. I just wanted a 3-year contract, even though I'm not on TV. I'm literally sitting in catering next to Coca Cabana and listening to CM Punk, watching CM Punk promos. Like, it's just like, bro, shut your ass up, bro. You just wait till your brother comes there and y'all start doing some tag team matches and y'all start getting some success, because you ain't getting yourself, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And I ain't trying to talk trash to the man, but bro, that was just the softest thing I had ever heard. AEW is just the land of the soft at this point in time. Hangman Page coming out, the next person you give my moveset at least make the, bro, in terms of sneak dissing Logan Paul, because Logan Paul said that he's retiring. So pretty much Adam Page just said the next person WWE gives their moveset at least make them, look good, things of that nature. When in actuality, I do think that Logan Paul made all of Hangman Page's movesets look good. Like at first, I was against what Hangman Page said until somebody showed a clip by clip play of what Logan Paul and Adam Page's moveset look like. And honestly, I don't hate it. Logan Paul, he pulls it off. If we had, I'm just not a fan of Hangman Page. I'm not a fan of a lot of these gimmick characters in AEW because it's hard for. One thing that I like about rap, and I know Izzy, you just talk about wrestling. Where rap music come from? Shut up. No, the reason why I love rap music is because sometimes it's very believable. You can listen to guys like King Von, and you're like, man, what he did was awful. It sucked. But everything he was spitting was truth. There was some truth to it. In WWE, there's some truth to it. You could fully believe if Roman Reigns wanted to take somebody's head off, he would take somebody's head off. He's going to choke somebody out. If he's going to continue to smash guys, then he's going to continue to smash guys. I believe that. Roman Reigns smashes guys. Ain't that right, Devin? But it's just one of those things where I'm sorry. But it's just one of those things where Bobby Lashley, he was talking his tough talk in WWE. He was Brock Lesnar. They talked their tough talk in WWE. Randy Orton at first, he was talking his tough talk, and we were like, I don't know. Then he started going off on reporters. I'll headbutt your teeth through your skull. That's Randy Orton. That's Randy Orton. A lot of these AEW guys, they're just. I'm not trying to call them soft. I'm not trying to call them soft at all. It's just the fact that no, see, I'm ignoring this phone call. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. Let me actually blow my nose because this is getting out of hand. Dang. I'm getting riled up talking to you guys. My phone keep ringing, going on and off the hook. And I'm an hour in. I didn't even know I was talking for an hour. Devin, how come you ain't stopping me, bro? I was like, I've been talking on here for an hour. Shout out to Devin. He said, stack them and smash them. That's exactly what Roman was doing. Stacking his men up and then smashing them one by one. One by one, pay-per-view by pay-per-view. Premium live event by premium live event. Roman Reigns just had an insane, unbelievable, nasty addiction of just smashing guys. That was Roman Reigns' forte. As I sit on that for a second. But anyway, just looking at how AEW's talent is viewed, Hangman Page. I don't really necessarily. Now, these guys, they can come through. Oh, Izzy, you're not going to fight these guys. These guys could beat you up within a second. They probably could. I got to see it, though. He knows like, I got to see it, though. It's one of those, like, I got to see it, though. As we talked about with Bobby Lashley. Now, let me make this clear. I'm not trying to start a fight with AEW wrestlers. I'm not saying that AEW I'm saying that what they say and also what they show on social media can also, and what they show us can also be really, really convoluted. Like, I love that Hangman Page stood up against CM Punk, but this is how this whole thing started. This is how this whole thing started. Hangman Page was watching his friends get beat up. Hangman Page didn't really do a thing about it. CM Punk literally came through and destroyed that whole company, if I'm going to be honest with you. The Young Bucks had an idea of what they wanted this company to be ran. And Tony Khan should know from the get-go, the first time when he had to take the book from the Young Bucks and everybody, this isn't going well. When your viewership is declining, right? I don't care about viewership, but they let it be known that they were absolutely smashing NXT. They're destroying NXT. NXT can't even compete with them. They ran them off of Tuesdays. No, they ran them off of Wednesdays. Excuse me. They got shows on Tuesdays now. And now looking at it, man, NXT wishes they had NXT numbers now. And I mean, they're losing by 100K now. And I'm not at the end of the day. Tony Khan, here's the thing. Here's where I'm gonna wrap this all up in a bow. Tony Khan, I don't care what you book. I don't care who you put out there. I'm still gonna go to AEW events because I love wrestling. I love wrestling with a passion. I don't care if you have Ishii taking on Chris Jericho in a 1 hour. You know what? I lied. Let me not give Tony Khan any ideas. I'm not gonna a 1 hour Iron Man match. Chris Jericho versus Ishii. No, let's not. But honestly, Tony Khan, however you want to book your show is however you want to book your show. I'm still gonna go because I'm a fan of wrestling. You cannot be mad at me, nor can your fans be mad at me that you're putting up a crap product. Oh, Izzy, why are you going to the event still? Because I love wrestling. I care for wrestling. And I'm going to support wrestling no matter what. Tony Khan, whatever you put out to me, I'm going to support. You just can't be mad when I say it's bull crap or I think that everything that you're doing is just crap in general. That's my thoughts. That's my thought process on the whole thing. And honestly, that's what you really get from there. Shout out to Heel. He says, "Oh my God, look at that! Look at this! Hey, look, there's a story to this." Shout out to Heel. He says, "Is that a Raptors jersey?" Look, I wore this in Vegas, and I was the most famous man in Vegas. Like, it wasn't the fact that it was a Toronto Raptors jersey. They was like, "Bro, that's T-Mac. You got a T-Mac jersey? Where'd you get this T?" Honestly, on everything I love, on everything I love. I got this at Ross for $15, a T-Mac jersey. I saw it and almost fainted. I was like, I got to get this, man. Ain't no way I'm passing up on a T-Mac jersey. And I wore it in Arizona, and my boss walked up to me. He was like, I don't know why I have a problem with you wearing this T-Mac jersey. And I'm like, why? I was like, I think he's a Hall of Famer. He goes, now you took it a step too far. I'm like, what? Like, T-Mac? I'm like, bro, this is a Hall of Famer we're looking at. I know he's injury prone. I know the career is shorter than what we expected, but bro, let's not. It's T-Mac, bro. And shout out to Devin. He also says, bro, you helping me get through work. And Hill says $15. How many were on the shelf? No, there was none in the shelf. Ross, you know how Ross is. Ross just has a bunch of miscellaneous shirts, so you pretty much are just in there. I'm in the athletic fit spot because athletically fit. So I went in there and I was just going through each and every shirt, and yeah, this one was hitting. It said $14.99 on everything I love. $14.99. Mitchell and Ness, it's like Mitchell and Ness, the Swingman collection, like it's in great condition. As I just throw it like it ain't shit. Like it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And so like I ran into some gold. Actually at Walmart, I ran into a Caleb Williams jersey. Caleb Williams and a Walter Payton jersey for $50. I was like, that might be the next one. I'm from the UK. Got you, Hugh. I'm from the UK. I don't know the store. Excuse me. Ross is just a really, really cheap store where you go and get a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Like it's really cheap. And a lot of people go there because you get a bunch of what's the word? What do they call these for like the Tracy McGrady jerseys? They get a lot of not golden eggs. I forgot what it's called. It's like a mystery pack. You don't know what you're gonna get. You walk into Ross, you walk into Marshalls. You know you're gonna get something good. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Like I had this SpongeBob poster. I had a SpongeBob framed poster that I got from Ross, and I love it, man. It's just miscellaneous stuff that you could get from there. So honestly, Hill, I might hidden gems. Appreciate you. Matter of fact, you've been helping me out so much today. Tell me what you want for Christmas. Tell me what you want for Christmas. I'll get with you in a minute. I'll definitely get with you in a minute to work something out here. Because not only do we love you on the show, we definitely appreciate you staying involved with us, talking wrestling. And man, you have some great insights as well. So definitely want to hook you up for Christmas too, if we could. But Honestly, Tony Khan, just stop being a hoe. I'm not calling your wrestlers soft, but this is definitely a soft environment. When CM Punk gets fired and you get scared for your life over a headlock and nobody wants to do anything about it, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's something that really, really just bugs me, gets on my last nerves. I honestly, I really have nothing wrestling related to talk about. I just still want to continue to talk wrestling. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I still want to talk wrestling with you guys. Tony Storm actually just came back. Tony Storm came back. Finally, Mariah May was throwing dirt on her name. I figured it was gonna take a minute for Tony Storm to come back. You got to let Mariah May get her stuff off. Obviously, she has to go on a nice run defending her title, which I think she's done a great job in. I thought Mariah May sucked. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought Mariah May sucked until we got to the Bret Hart tournament, because I wasn't really watching her matches like that. I just heard her promos and was like, oh, okay, well, she's all right. All she's really good for is kissing Tony Storm. Like, I was like, I don't really care about anything else that's going on. I mean, all she was good for is kissing Tony Storm. But now, oh man, she's amazing. I love the match with Willow Nightingale. I love her match with Nyla Rose, even though it was a little shorter than what I expected. Her and Mina Shirakawa, everything that they do, I'm in love with everything that they do. It's just perfect all around. Yeah, perfect-ish all around. And I feel like there's a lot that could be done, better. But Mariah May, it's definitely been amazing. If it wasn't for Liv Morgan, I would put Mariah May, at least on the women's side, in totality for all women. I would put her as MVP for 2024 because she put up MVP numbers. Now, she didn't draw that much, because I think that's one of the down. Well, I can't really. Okay, I'll put her up there with Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez has definitely had a better 2024 than her as well. So I definitely got to calm down. What do you say? For Christmas, I want Paul George to win an NBA championship. My brother, as a man from Indiana, I don't want that. I don't want that, man. I don't want that. I can already see the riots now. My friend actually tells me this funny story. He was at a softball game, and this is my friend who also reports on sports as well. Loves it with a passion, but he's a diehard Indiana fan, just in general. Anything Indiana related, he loves. Indiana sports, he loves. So, he goes to the softball game, the infamous softball game, celebrity softball game. And he says that Paul George walks over and, signs his stuff. And he tells Paul George, like, please don't leave. It's his contract year. Please stay, Paul George. And he says, Paul George looks at him, I ain't going nowhere. Very next day, Paul George requests a trade, says he wants to go. And I believe that's when the time he went to OKC. There's a picture of my friend. He has the poster and he has all this like Paul George stuff in the trash. It's like in a bin. And it's on Facebook. And it's after, Paul George had made his decision. And that, I wasn't a Paul George fan at the time, but I just know that was a gut punch for a lot of diehard fans in Indianapolis. I wasn't there. I was in Hammond enjoying what the Chicago Bulls were doing. But, man, I can't imagine heartbreak like that. So I know you want that heel. I'm going to pray for it. I'm going to pray for Paul George to have endless health because we already know this man can be a little injury prone. The podcast is dope. I do like his podcast. I will say that. If you listen to his podcast, he is pretty entertaining. I will give him that. He definitely has a future in media for sure. But man, bro, Paul George is just I won't necessarily say I want him to win a championship. I don't know. You got to get back to me and Santa next year. Get back to us next year. Well, yeah, just great work. I love wrestling, man. I've been loving wrestling. This has been a great year for wrestling. It's been a great couple years for wrestling. I didn't think Vince McMahon leaving was going to cause this much change. I knew things were going to get better, but man, things are picked up in a big way, in a huge way for WWE. At one point in time where it was like, hey, if you're not happy with what's going on in WWE, you could go over there and control your own narrative, no pun intended, in AEW. You could do your own thing in AEW and try to get yourself over. Now that's not the case. Now, if you're in AEW, your best bet is to go to WWE and hope Paul Levesque sees something in you. At that point in time, because Paul Levesque might not see something in a lot of these guys. Look at Austin Theory. Look at the amazing push Austin Theory had. And you see where he's at now. Look at the amazing push Bobby Lashley had. Look at where he's at now. And look at what Bobby Lashley's doing now. Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin. I can see MVP walking up to Tony Khan. Look, I understand you got these ideas, brother, man. But Booker, man, if I could be Brian Pillman for a second, like I understand what you're doing here, Booker, man, but bro, I'm not with this. This is not gonna work for me, brother. No, not for Montel Vontavious Porter. And that's what's needed. I feel like a lot of because what they're doing is actually good. What they're doing is actually good work. Good Bobby Lashley, the Hurt Syndicate. They're staying in their lane. They're bullying who they need to bully. They're making Swerve Strickland look all right. He doesn't look weak. He don't look like a hoe, but he definitely could get some more wins if need be. But honestly, this team looks amazing. Bro. Even MVP, he's not really yelling at these guys. He tells Shelton Benjamin, I'm not mad, bro. Like, I love you. I'm just disappointed in you, brother. You gotta finish these guys off. You see what Roman Reigns was talking about? You gotta smash these guys. We're into smashing guys now. That's what we gotta start doing. So honestly, I love every bit. I love every bit of what the Hurt Syndicate got going on. And I think their future is just brighter than bright. And shout out to a heel. He says, fuck Indiana. He says, my then game, that man, he says, they gave that man Lance and Roy Hibbert to try to be. Oh, look. Hey, look. Shout out to Lance Stevenson because the same guy that I'm talking about, his favorite basketball player of all time. I don't want I won't necessarily say of all time, but his favorite basketball player at that time was Lance Stevenson. Like he pulled up to our college class in a Lance Stevenson high school jersey. We were like, bro, how do you even find that? Like, who in the world is asking for a Lance Stevenson high school jersey? Now, Roy Hibbert, I'm sorry, he just crapped out like at the tail end. I'm sorry, bro. If you're only grabbing one rebound in the playoffs against LeBron James, I'm sorry, bro. You get the hell up out of here. You got to go, my brother. I'm sorry. I am with you with that, man. Screw Indiana. I'm with you on that, Hill. He also says, hot take. Rhea Ripley is a bigger draw than Roman right now. If Rhea Ripley had the title still, and she was going on this nice run, I would agree with you. If Rhea Ripley still had the title, I would 100% agree with you. The only problem I have with Rhea Ripley, the only reason why I have to disagree is because her and Roman Reigns are different. Now, Devin gonna get mad. Here it goes. Here's the difference. Roman Reigns didn't want to show up for work. Roman Reigns was champion, and he didn't want to show up. Rhea Ripley, she was champion, and then she would have to drop the belt, because she's getting injured. It's not that she doesn't want to show up for work. She just keeps getting injured. Hell, she just injured her face a couple weeks ago, and then it was the shoulder, and then, it's so much that goes on with Rhea Ripley. She just can't stay healthy. If she was able to stay healthy, I would agree 100%. She could be a bigger draw than Roman Reigns at a point. Because look, as soon as a lot of people hear this is my brutality, and I think somebody made a great point on Twitter. Because every time Liv Morgan's in the ring, of course you got to hear Rhea Ripley's theme music come out. She runs in, Liv Morgan runs out, Rhea Ripley beats up everybody. Then whatever happens after that happens. Because I guess it's a question mark after that. All we know is that Liv Morgan's in the ring, Rhea Ripley's gonna come out, and then Liv's gonna scatter, and we know Rhea Ripley's gonna clean house. We already know that guaranteed is gonna happen in an event, in a wrestling event. The situation of this whole thing is, a lot of people compared it to Stone Cold. Oh, well, this is just getting annoying. Is this all Rhea Ripley gonna do? And we're like, oh, well, Stone Cold, man. As soon as you hear that glass shatter, hell, Stone Cold was in a ring of 50 people and cleared out everybody with a stunner. And people just sat there. All right, next. You take a stunner next. You just had to sit there and wait because you couldn't. Stone Cold was untouchable. Am I saying Rhea Ripley's untouchable? No, but she's coming off as that way. I definitely believe she's coming off as untouchable. Kind of giving her that Stone Cold push. Well, Hill says Rhea has sips going wild. He says I'm sipping for Rhea Ripley. Hey, honestly, I sip for Rhea Ripley too. Like Rhea Ripley, a bad sister. Rhea Ripley is a bad sister. Oh, let me tell you something. Like honestly, when she recruited Dom into the Judgment Day, I'll never forget it because that was when my life changed. Y'all thought Dominic Mysterio's life changed. No, this is when my life changed. I'll never forget when Rhea Ripley got on that top rope and she got her legs and was choking out Dominic Mysterio, and Dominic just like, help, Daddy, Daddy, I can't breathe. Daddy, you deadbeat. I need help. You know, like he's sitting there struggling. It's suffocating off of the legs of Rhea Ripley. And I'm just like, man, some guys have all the luck. You know, it's like some guys, you know, I'm just like, some guys have all the luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, but honestly, and just being real, honestly, I do think Rhea Ripley is doing great work. Her husband need to find his way back to WWE. Hell, the House of Black need to find their way back to find their way back. Brody King was never, but Brody King needs to find his way to WWE. And maybe you can bring Julia Hart. I don't really care if you do or don't. But they need to bring House of Black to WWE. They could give I feel like now I think this is a hot take. I definitely think the House of Black would do a better job than what the Wyatt Six are doing. You know, I think the Wyatt Six are doing a solid job. I'm losing steam on the Wyatt Six because at the end of the day, what is your end goal? What are you going for? I don't see Bo Dallas. I don't see Uncle Howdy as a champion anytime soon. And hell, you still got 4 other people, you know, you have to worry about as well. I'm not seeing how this is going to be really, really beneficial, you know, in the long run. I think this would just be good for some segments. It'd be good when we want to get a quick pop, you know, out of nowhere. But in terms of having matches and in terms of giving them the push that we all feel as though they deserve, I don't see it happening. I don't see it. Hey, shout out to Heel. He says, my life changed when Rhea was stretching her legs on Dom's shoulders. I'm telling you, it was like instant. I was like, wow. Some guys get lucky, man. I'm telling you. So some guys just get all the luck. Some guys just get all the luck, man. But look, it is getting a little late. I do got to eat. I haven't eaten all day yet. And I do got to get ready for work. As I mentioned before, I was supposed to do work at 5:30, but I do have to go to work at 7, so it should be around 7 to 10. I'm gonna try to come back more often, and if I do, it would be around 2 o'clock. My dad goes to work at 2 around this time, and I'm gonna bring some people in as well. So you will see the family, you will see the older brother, you will see Devin, you will see I got a lady friend. I ain't gonna call her my girlfriend yet, but I got a little lady friend that might slide over here. Well, you might see her from time to time. You know, we're gonna make something shake. We're gonna make something shake, but I do want to be on here a whole lot more often. I do want to talk to you guys here. I was supposed to do this for 30 minutes. I was literally supposed to be on for 30 minutes, and we turned 30 minutes to an hour and a half. So, man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Devin for being the co-host at work. You know, I really, really appreciate that. I can't tell you guys how much Devin not only means to the heel turn, but just means to me personally. Like, this dude is just absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, just I want to be like Devin when I grow up. Just straight up. I want to be like Devin when I grow up. So like I said, Devin, go back to work. Go back to work. I think you got an hour or some change left. Probably got an hour or some change left. Heel, I want to thank you and appreciate you so much. Like I said, hey, I'm definitely gonna be hearing from you pretty soon. We definitely gonna hit you up for Christmas. If you don't get it on Christmas, we're gonna send you something just in general, just to show you that we love you, fam. Like, it's all love here. If you're gonna take the time to sit here and not only watch us and listen to us talk wrestling, but also talk to us and also communicate and vibe with us as well, hell, we would definitely at some point in time would like to get you on the show in general. You know, just to talk to you about wrestling. I would definitely love to see if we can make something work. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, appreciate you guys. Want to see if we can have this up pretty soon. Either way, we're gonna make something work. There's not gonna be a speech here because, like I said, Devin isn't here. Devin usually has a in the show speech, in the show promo. That's ass. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna say that for Devin because look, man, Devin's the golden guy for it, as I mentioned. But look, love you guys so much. Love you guys. Love being in here. Love talking wrestling, and I just love doing this, man. So Devin says, I got an hour and a quarter left here too. Dang, you got an hour and you got a quarter in your pocket? That's crazy, man. No, in actuality. Devin got an hour and some change left at work. Look, huge shout out to Devin as well. Got a promotion since we telling each other business. My man's got a promotion. He moving on up to the east, moving on up. I can't say that. I can't sing it properly. But Devin moving on up, man, like the Jeffersons. So huge shout out to Devin. As I said, we've been just some insanely busy individuals. And even if we can't get Saturday night main event going tomorrow, you best believe you're going to see us on Sunday. and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You're gonna see one of us, and I want to make that a habit. If you're not gonna see one, you're going to see the other. If you're not gonna see me, you're gonna see Devin. If you're gonna see Devin, you're gonna see me. If you're gonna see either of us, you're gonna see Heel. Or you're gonna see Justin. You're gonna see somebody at some point in time. I don't want to leave. I lucky don't want to end this, but I have to. I could talk to you guys all day because, like I said, this is my livelihood. I was struggling to get in here all week, and man, to finally come in here, it's been therapeutic, man. It's been a blessing. So honestly, I know I was talking to the same people. That's obviously going to change once this gets posted. Whoever's going to see it at this point. So, hey, man, huge shout out to everybody that came through and watched, and I appreciate you. All right, I'm done. I'm going to end it for sure. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time.